Miren, a lo largo del transcurso de esta intensa jornada estamos tratando de ofrecerles diferentes visiones de la situación actual desde diferentes ópticas. El COVID-19 nos ha demostrado que no entiende de fronteras, que es capaz de avanzar de una manera absolutamente imparable por todo el planeta y que además genera una grave inestabilidad. ¿Estamos bien? Que genera una grave inestabilidad, en este caso, a las sociedades de todo el mundo. Hemos visto una visión desde Europa, hemos tratado también una visión desde los Estados Unidos y por supuesto, nos interesa una visión desde el gigante asiático. Para ello, vamos a contar con la opinión y vamos a poder escuchar la voz a través de las nuevas tecnologías de Brian Lee, el escocés de Bank of East Asia, que es el mayor banco local independiente y el tercer mayor banco de Hong Kong. ¿Cómo ha afectado la crisis del COVID al gigante asiático, a Asia en general? Buscamos esta visión con Brian Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to speak at this prestigious annual Congress of the Spanish Association of Entrepreneurs and Managers. I would like to thank Dr. Isidro Fainé, the president of the association and a dear friend, for inviting me, and to thank the organizers for hosting this event, enabling all of us to participate regardless of where we are. A warm greeting from Hong Kong to all the members of this Congress. Wherever we are in the world, 2020 has been an extraordinary year. All regions are feeling the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and all of us are facing unprecedented challenges. Asia is no different. Fortunately, as the COVID situation starts to stabilize, and as long as we do not see future lockdowns, Asian economies are expected to recover from here. Asia's GDP will likely turn positive in the third quarter, from negative 3.6% in the first quarter of 2020. For the full year, Asia's GDP is forecasted to register a 1.2% decline, followed by a healthy 6.4% growth in 2021. There are a few things I would like to highlight here. First, many Asian economies are export-led, and much will depend on global demand, particularly demand from Western economies. Therefore, we cannot look at Asia in isolation. Any demand weakness will have a material adverse impact on Asia's recovery. Second, recovery could be derailed by political instability, particularly with what we are seeing in Thailand and Malaysia. The ongoing political drama in Malaysia has raised the prospect of snap elections, while in Thailand, protesters are demanding reform to the monarchy and the resignation of the Prime Minister. Heightened political risks could lead to market volatility and affect overall regional recovery. Third, Asia's economic data is highly influenced by the China numbers due to the sheer size of the Chinese economy. So let's take a look at China. Figures released this morning show that the economy grew 4.9% in the third quarter. For the full year of 2020, China's GDP is forecasted to grow by 2%, the only major economy that will register positive growth this year. And we expect that a recovery in the second largest economy will lift neighboring Asian countries. There are many things we can talk about China, but given the time constraint, I would like to just touch on one important topic, and that is China's 14th five-year plan, the blueprint for the nation's development for the next 5 years. While the official plan is due to be released in March next year, it is widely expected that the opening and reform of the market and technology development will be pillars of the economic strategy going forward. China has taken successive steps over the years to open up the economy, and I believe this process will continue. Many industries which were once off limits are now open to foreign firms. Licensing and administrative requirements will be further simplified. Taxes and fees will be reduced, and business practices will become more market-oriented. In this context, there will be a business and investment opportunities not only for domestic firms, but also for foreign firms, including Spanish companies that have an interest in expanding in China. Another trend set to continue its digitalization. China has long invested in technology development, and with the pandemic accelerating digital adoption, the country will likely reaffirm its commitment to innovation and intellectual property protection. In particular, despite China's leading position in 5G, fintech, and digital payments, it is still largely dependent on external sources for chips. The recent US sanctions expose this weakness, and China will likely increase its spending on basic science research, which currently accounts for only 5% of its total research spending, compared to 15% in the US and 12% in Japan. The one big uncertainty surrounding the global recovery is the geopolitical tension between the US and China, the two largest economies in the world. How this will play out in the coming years will somewhat depend on the results of the US elections in less than 3 weeks' time. But I think it is quite obvious that collaboration instead of confrontation between the two countries will lead to a far more beneficial outcome for everyone. Let's hope that once the dust has settled after the elections, there will be a return to talks to reconcile differences and to find a common path forward. I shall end my remarks here. Once again, I thank you for having me, and I wish the Congress huge success. I hope the situation in Spain will improve soon, and I wish everyone continued good health. Thank you very much.